really tested when you think something's going to happen and it doesn't happen the way you think. And then that's not really the hard part, to be honest. The hard part is, can you keep doing what you were doing before it started to get crazy? But when you go back to the word, you're going to see that happen over and over again. You know, God told Moses, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. I'm sure Moses thought, this is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go in there and tell him who's boss. I'm with God, like I'm sure we feel that way. And he went there, and that's not what happened, Actually, it was even crazier, it was like, I got these wizards over here you got to check out, like what? I'm sure Moses was like, what the heck? I got to deal with this now, So that must have been wild, like you're thinking like, yeah, I got this, even though he was a little nervous because he had Aaron with him. But, you went in there thinking like, I'm with God, so you felt a little, not a little, but I mean, I think a lot of confidence. But then you go in there and there's some wizards in there and they're doing what you can do, it's wild, what I'm saying, when you think about it. But that's how we end up in ourselves in these situations in our real lives, where we think things are gonna go one way, but it goes left, or not even just left, but really it goes not as smooth as you think or imagined, and you still gotta keep going. Moses kept going back. Joseph was in a pit. So I think, to me, what I've learned is not that those hard moments, they come, but the hard part really, I find, is can you keep going when that moment does come? Like after that thing hits, after that moment hits you, can you keep going? Can you still believe? Can you still have faith? Can you still pray the same? Can you still read the word the same? Can you keep that same hunger? And you have to keep that same hunger you had when you got the word, right? Now it didn't go the way you wanted, like you thought it would. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep the faith. And, it's really amazing because it's one of those things where like, it's just you and God, right? So I just think, it's one of those things that's like, wow, that's really, when you're there, it's difficult because God sent you to do something. It didn't go like you thought it would, but you got to keep going now. It's on us, and I think that's something that we use in our walk constantly. It's on us. We're pressing forward in faith that God's going to meet us there and do his part like he always does. He always shows up on time, so it's not like he won't show up, but it's just, man, when you get to that moment, can you keep going? And, I pray today that you keep going. Keep going. Don't let that whatever you thought was going to happen, didn't happen, stop you. Keep going today because it's going to happen.